Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Nice.
Professor. Yeah.
Yeah, let's turn on the screen. So maybe I can recognize you later occasions. Hello, Nathan.
Hey, hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Ruby.
Hello.
And the other guest, turn on your camera. They are so quiet. So everyone now ready to listen to what we actually learned from the SSD?
We are ready. Yeah.
Very quiet. Okay. So everyone see the screen?
Yeah. We can see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking to my students. So the rest of people who are in this rooms, just listen carefully about our programs. Basically, what you can learn from SSD, if you are interested in, let me explain. Wait, someone's actually tried to join in. Anyway, let me start. So the SSD, we have the faculty members. Right now it only shows the 4 members. We are the core members. However, we have the other 3 faculty members, as well as the guest lecturer from the other universities. So as shown in the picture, me, Sherapa, specialism leader, Dr. Bau, who are the subject leaders, Dr. Arya Yang and Dr. Tufal, same as the subject leaders. We have the different kind of specialism, the specialties in terms of the area of the design. And actually, I'm going to explain the full-time mode, which is consists of the 3 the semesters. So basically, the first semester, we have a very, very intensive semester throughout the certain week. Each actually three semester run in a certain week. So basically, the subject of the SSD specialism focus on key knowledge of the SSD. It consists with the lectures, workshops, and seminar, and the dedicated tutorials. With this research skills, you can actually help you to extend your research abilities, and then such as research methodologies, lab studies, also academic writing. And along with these 2 specialism knowledges and research skills, you will also have opportunity to run the project as a team, especially in a studio-based subject in each semester, including your final capstone project. So first semester, as you can see, we focus on the development of the core skills and knowledge of smart service design. And you will be given the brief from specific social or business challenges. And you will be able to learn the theoretical, also practical knowledge from the subject. Also have some opportunity to practice what you learn from research, as well as the special knowledge into the studio. And then this is the first semesters, but in terms of part-time mode, you can have the this is first. You can imagine the first year will be first semester, and second year will be second semester. Third year will be third semester. So it's actually spread out the 3 years, which is the part-time mode. And then second semester, you will be able to enhance the abilities and also the have the skill to facilitating the other students or other team members to engage with the stakeholders, also engage the skills, as well as the systemic, improve the systemic thinking, how to synthesize and formulate the insight and that you have found from the research stage, and then develop the design strategy for the service interventions or the development of the evaluation of the service that exist. So in terms of semester 3, you can actually integrate learnings from the previous semester 1 and 2, which is focusing to your final project. So you can consider your career together. Either you want to do the PhD or you want to go for the industry track. So based on the capstone project, as your capstone writing, you can develop your the career prospects during this time. So I think I'm going to probably briefly explain what kind of detail we have done in semester 1 in last academic years. So you can see that the designing of service is, we also work with the other the universities. Basically, we invite other professors from the university globally, as well as the industry partners. So actual people who are working in Ogilvy or the Alipay or any other like the service related the design firm, they can give us kind of their work, explain what they are doing, and also provide the case studies. So you can actually know what is the designing principle knowledge of the designing of services. And then advanced service design tool and method, which is the consists of the 7 weeks. So this is all about the we are referring the last year, but I'm trying to give you the kind of the information, what kind of things you can learn. So basically the service design tool, we have, if you study service design, you must know the service design tool and method. And there's globally more than 25 tools exist. And you need to practice what kind of tool and how can you actually adapt these tools and method into your project. So this is kind of the research oriented plus small project during this the specialism subject. And then below, at the same time, while you're studying the specialism knowledges, there's another subject offered by the School of Design. So this is very much about like the principle and traditional research skills and analysis that actually works for the design. So this is the probably quite useful for students who are expecting the PhD or someone who want to really work in the research departments in the industry. And then yeah, it's another concurrent the subject. While you are studying the specialisms and the research skill, there's a studio work running together. So which means that you learn from the specialism subject as well as research skill subject, but at the same time, there's opportunity you can actually apply these knowledge and skill into the practice. So we call it interdisciplinary studio. And then the last time our partner was Lego, and then there's lots of success and then beautiful stories. And then, students had a kind of the joyful moments. And then there's an opportunity that you can work on the internship. So you can imagine what kind of, we are very much like the industry oriented programs. So in a semester 2, equally the part-time mode, year 2, 2 specialisms running together. One is a socio-technical service ecosystem. The other one is a systemic innovation and design future services. So the previous one, that the service ecosystem, is very much about that the subject that help you to know not only just the service itself, but what's the ecosystem around the service that you are engaged. So it would give you the basic understanding about the wider understanding of the service ecosystem. And then later on, you will have a chance to learn more about what's the innovation, what's the system thinking, and therefore, how can you actually designing the services for the futures. So this is very much like a theoretical plus mini kind of a practice, mini case study, mini practice throughout the professors as well as the industry, the guest lecturer. At the same time, what is run underneath is lab studies. We call it lab studies. This is very much a flexible kind of the subject. And then lab studies are actually designed for the students who prepare, we try to give the students to prepare their capstone project. So someone who wants to do like a project for industry and portfolio, and we kind of give the extra time and explorer, student to explore what they really like, what they really want to do. So it's very much like a seminar and tutorial based the subject. And then a lot of things based on the data. So purely data and how you can use the data, come up with your the service insight and service solutions. So very much the flexible kind of the subject you have. At the same time, like a Lego, we have also studio, the formats, which is a smart service design studio. And then currently our partner is Skone and talking about the mobilities, not just mobility about the transportations, but mobilities about between building to buildings, between the neighborhood. So it's kind of the slight different kind of the inclusive design opportunity we are looking at. So it's more like advanced kind of design. Someone screaming. And last semester 3, which is the mainly the capstone project, because every semester runs by 13 weeks. It's very intensive. So in last semester, you can actually entitled to enter or register any elective subject from other programs. Also, 2 subjects is running together. One is the academic writing and one is the project. So both are very important, but especially for the PhD or research-oriented project, they are more interested in. Then capstone research academic writing could be very useful. And someone who are more interested in going out for the industry, then capstone project will be the one that students, and you can actually show this is my work, this is my kind of the interest, this is how I want to develop my career kind of things. So basically this is how our SSD programs structured. Is there any questions? Don't be shy. No questions? Is there any chat, the question in chat room? Can you see?
No question in chat room.
Okay, maybe we can then move to the your experience sessions.
Yeah. So
Ruby
I
and
guess
Nathan, who's gonna start first?
I guess I found a question in chat room. I wonder if the project collaboration in the course will design the technical part.
Wait, let me.
Yeah, in chat box.
Very difficult to see it. Let me stop the share. Okay. In chat room, I wonder if there's any project collaboration in the course will be designed the technological part. I think that it's really depending on industry interest. Since our program is very much consider about the design, business, and technologies, if the industry partner wanted to go into more technical side, then we will obviously. But technical part is that one of the aspect. So I wouldn't say it's only technical part. Any more questions? Maybe time to start our student sharing session?
Yeah.
More questions coming.
Oh, yeah. More question.
Maybe I think student just, the guest, you guys just put your question into chat room, and after our student sessions, we will answer everything together. So while you have the questions, just put it there, put in the chat room.
Okay.
So let's start.
Okay, I will share first. Let me
Sure.
share my screen. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Nathan, and I'm currently studying MDes of Smart Survey Design at PolyU. For me, my educational background is in innovation design and Central Academy of Fine Arts. And in the past, I worked as UX designer and strategy designer for Siemens based in Beijing and design offices. So the next, why I choose PolyU. First, I want to apply for the survey design program, and then I want to choose a Polytech University because my high school and my bachelor degree studying was at CAFA. So I had almost 10 years of studying at the art school. I want to experience a different learning environment. And PolyU has good support, such as the school's labs, facilities, and others. And PolyU has a lot of different majors like business school, engineering school. So here are a lot of opportunities for to experience different knowledge and interdisciplinary collaboration. And I want to study in Hong Kong, which means I can link Milan and other areas. That's why I choose PolyU. So the next part, I want to use 3 keywords to describe my first semester experience: professional, responsible, and systematic. So the first, professional, the course are varied, and professors are very experienced in teaching and help us to explain our knowledge in different ways. The topics and the projects are suitable for the needs of Asian society, I think, and the marketing, I think is really important for me. And the content of the course help us to understand survey design and other imaging areas and identify opportunities. The professors also spend a lot of time to communicate with students and provide their own advice, which help us to find clear direction and integrate our study with our chapters. So the next keywords is systematic. Yeah, here I have choose a part of curriculum. The first semester includes method, project, writing course. Their course are interlinked. Here I will give an example of the first course in the first semester, designing surveys. This course will explain a basic survey design knowledge and the concept to help our students to understand how to do project plan and how to solve problems through basic survey design methods. We can apply what we want to learn in designing surveys course to the other projects, and the knowledge from each course is interlinked. Another difference of the course was that we were able to work with some part-time local students who are working and complete their studies at the same time. I think it's really useful for me. I think I learned a lot from working with the part-time local student. And the challenge I faced, about the challenge I want to talk about, there is a lot of contents on this course and we need to practice. It's too intensive in 7 weeks. For example, in the 7 weeks course, design surveys I show here requires us to complete 3 mini projects. And the first time, this is a lot of group work with different students from different disciplines, as well as a lot of time to read many essential books. I think is really challenging for me, but at the same time, I think it's useful and helpful for my build a basic understanding about survey design and help me to cooperate with other students easily in later courses. And the support and guidance I were given. There are many designers and researchers on design service course who share their research and work experience, which help us to understand the application of these methods. And secondly, we can learn a lot from students from different backgrounds. Like Professor mentioned, like Alibaba, they share their experience and the latest project in the design service course. Yeah. And at the last, I want to sharing my personal opinion. I feel that the first semester was not only help in terms of guidance, but we receive a lot of help from the professors in SSD program. I think it's really important for me. And they help us with project difficulties, cooperative difficulties, and they book individual meeting during the holiday to discuss the different of learning experience and our individual self plans. The professors support us in many ways, and the fact there were at least 30 students in SID program and ensure the quantity of our learning experience and communication with other professors. Finally, for my personal points of view, I would highly recommend applying for the SSC program as I think it's very rewarding in terms of learning experience. Thank you, that's my sharing.
Okay, then Ruby,
Yes.
you ready?
Yeah. I share my screen.
Ruby is the one of our local students. So maybe if you have any questions about the local scholarships and fellowships, to raise the voice.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat room.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I'm Ruby. Let me start by sharing, introducing myself. And I'm graduate with a degree in product design. From my previous work experience in 2019 to 2020, I worked as a design assistant at Smart Creation Limit. And in my second year, I worked as a graphic and product designer. And I'm working at PolyU as a graphic and product designer. Next, I would like to talk about the reason why that attract me to decide to study at PolyU. And firstly, I think PolyU provides a range of resources for students, both inside and outside the classroom. In addition, I think they give and encourage students the opportunity to present their ideas and prepare for the future employment. And they are also building strong links with the industry as well. And for my personal experience at PolyU, I have divided it into 3 parts to share, which are learning to communicate with students from different backgrounds, time management, and the importance of study time after class for students. As most of the class assignments are group projects where students come from different departments, and PolyU actually encourage interdepartmental collaboration. And I think communication is also an important part for these assignments, as some of our subjects require 2 days of tuition per week. Time is really tight and students need to use time to absorb knowledge and complete this task. And the most important part, I think, is in PolyU, which is what we learn in class take twice as long to understand and absorb the knowledge. And in the end, I chose a course that I think inspired me a lot, and I want to share with all of you, which is study and analyze of design. And this course actually requires a group of people to write an 8,000-word essay based on the topic, question, and sub-questions. I think the challenge was to communicate with other students on the design course, and the need to read different papers and books. During my study, I gained a lot of insight from our interdisciplinary classmates, and through communication and sharing, I think we learned about different opinions and ideas. At the same time, the teachers gave us more freedom, and they would like to give us ideas from their previous working experience. And what I learned was that there is a more academic approach to research, and that service design is not just only a superficial in our daily life. And this is my sharing. Thank you.
Good. So let's go through the chat room, the questions. And second questions, I think I already answered the first questions. And second question is that does it encourage the group work or the independent work? I think basically students have the freedom whether they can work individual or the group. However, what we encourage is that try to do group work, because that our program is very, very intensive, as well as we are mainly working with most of the subject working with industry. So considering that you work in industry, you always work with the team. So what we are suggesting is that if you can do the independently, individually. However, we encourage as a group work so that you can spread your task throughout team, as well as you can learn teamwork, as well as communication skill, and as well as empathy. So I hope this one and I answered. And there's another questions. I wonder, is there any project relevant to the smart tourism or government? Yes. In a Lego project, although there's a certain kind of the very, very broad theme in terms of the design brief, students actually explore under the themes, whether they want to go for smart tourism or experiential or the works for government, totally fine. And then in Lego project, one of the team actually create some new ways of the tourisms, kind of smart tourisms. And also not only the considering tourism itself, but also support the kind of film tourism as well. And then in second semester, we are expecting to work with the NGO as well, which means it's very much government related. So we have such a very much variety of the topics you can explore. Am I answer that? I hope I did. And yes. There's another questions. I have the full-time job. My concern is to what is the time schedule over part-time programs. Like I said before, the part-time mode, the 1 year full-time, the program will be spread out to the 3 years. So every semester, one subject will be spread out the entire years. So if you work full-time, then you can take some little time off or use the weekends or evening to join the programs. But most of the current subject is run based on the daytime mode. But there is, I think you can always find some kind of a couple of hours, like a couple of hours per week, for example. So that's why we spread out the years. So there's will be enough time you can actually conduct the entire programs. Any more questions? So for SSD, is there any opportunities for cooperate with the company's institution service? So basically, are you asked the topic related to disabilities or marginalized group? Am I right? Yes, we do. Like I said, the coming semester, we will work on the smart mobilities, but also not just inclusive mobilities. So inclusive meanings that you guys need to consider the marginalized groups, such as the obviously with the disabilities, or older people, elderly, or the people who had a loss of luggages, the belongings, or kids. So all these kind of disabilities or difficulties, of course, they are also our target group as well. And the NGO we have, they are very much interested in this kind of the marginalized groups. And also the PolyU School of Design, we have the separate institutions. We call them the CD, so socially innovative institute. So they are separate groups, the other than like MDes groups. However, they are located in same buildings, and they very much work on the social issue, disabilities or difficulties, and then they are very, very closely working with us. So I hope that I answered your questions. And the last question again. Dear Shara, I know you graduated from the RCA service design. I would like to ask about more difficult difference between RCA and the PolyU in teaching service design. Yes, RCA did the PhD and then taught the students as well. They used to be a 2-year program. Now they changed the 1-year programs. The big difference is that we are very much we have a very much strong bondage with industry, as well as you remember the triangle I presented in an earlier part. We not just only talk about the design or the social issues, but we consider the value of the market value, like viabilities, whether your product can be actually released into the market, and what kind of information, what kind of the skills that you need to learn. As well as we also try to facilitate you to learn the more technical side. But I think the technical side is that something more about tools and then PolyU has such the really good facilities in School of Design, so you can also run from there. And then such workshops and seminar. And also beauty is that we have such a variety of the pool from all over the world. Basically, you have the 5 core the faculty members, but also you have the another 3 the members who are mainly teaching to your subject, as well as we have at least 10 the guest lecturer from the industry, as well as other universities from the world. As far as the time schedule fit, they will, because if we need to bring the professors from the Europes, the session has to be in the evening because of time differences. So we have such a variety of the pool, and that's the differences. Location-wise and the locational-wise, we are kind of, Hong Kong is kind of a center between the Western and the Western and Asia. And also you have a very, very good accessibilities to mainland China as well. So in the parts are more likely the company that you can see from day-to-day basis. I hope that I answer. Yeah. Any more questions? Go ahead. If you have a question, go ahead. And even you can ask the real experience to the student as well. And then, especially for part-time, we are the mixed mode, which we call it mixed mode, which is 3 years part-time. That's very much the fit to the local students who are living in local or who had a work visa in Hong Kong. We have very, very good the fellowship and scholarship schemes. Very much, it's very fancy, fantastic the scholarship and the fellowship schemes. So, don't miss out. And especially if we are working right now, having part-time the study along with your current work will actually enhance your view. And also you can, work as well as you can also work with other students, also work with other professors here under the scholarship and then, fellowship scheme, which is really rare opportunities. I got another question. What is the difference between ISD and SSD? I think ISD is more oriented in systemic thinkings and also technology, how technology can actually, technology can actually also the systemic the view can actually change things in society. I think the Professor Wang probably explained better, but SSD is more the service oriented. What kind of service, what kind of experience that the user, the customer required, and how can you actually intervene the services that you use in every day. These days everything is the service basis, everything is the digital service, everything is the even like a product or like a cup or tangible things. But actually from service design perspective, these products and the things are actually exist to serve the experience that you want. So that's the differentiation between two programs. And how many students will SSD recruit this year? Oh, is tough questions. Let me give you the indications. Last year, at the moment, we have 23 students in SSD at only full time. But if we from the next academic year, which is this September, we open the mixed model, so meaning that the student number will be doubled. And also let me give you another difference compared to what is RCA and the PolyU. What I know is that the RCA the total number of students is 120, and then since they become like the one-year programs, the student number will be more than 200, but they have the limited the limited number of the teachers. But PolyU here, we are very, very much select the small group of students. That means you have a much more chance to talk to professors as well as consult your concerns, and you can learn from experience from directly. So you can see the big differences. And let me follow up the questions, the number of the recruitment. Last year, actually, I got 306 applications. And from there, we only selected 23 students. So basically, it's a more than 10-to-1 ratio. So you can imagine that if you are enter, your students who are working with you, they are very much very competitive. So what I can say is that you will learn a lot from the student, a lot from the professors, and then the industry. However, most important thing is that you also learn from your peer group, your colleagues, because why it is important is that you can make a really strong and good connection with the professors while you study. However, after you graduate, your peer group and your colleagues are the people who spread out to the world, spread out to the different sector, and then they will be kind of your friends and support you while you are working. So the peer group is very important. So you can imagine that our SSD has already very much a high ratio of the selecting the students, so they are very strong. Yeah. I want to know about the interview arrangement. Yeah, you need to pass the document. And then we will arrange the interview with the other professor with me. I prefer teaching mode over PolyU. What that means? Could you explain further? My friends in current student of SSD, she's full of the praise of the SSD and Shara, I am very impressed. What teaching mode you are referring to? I think if I try to understand your questions, we have the lecture basis and seminar basis and tutorial basis. Also practice in a studio. So we have the 4 kinds of the teaching mode we have. Depending on the subject, depending on school's needs, we kind of manages the teaching mode. And everything will be offline.
Okay. Thank you, Nathan. Is it Nathan? Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. See you around. Bye-bye.
See you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.